All right, question, go ahead.
Well, Coach, you just mentioned it. Halfway through spring practice so far, kind of a two-part question. What's an area that you've liked so far through the first 2 or so weeks, and what's an area that you'd like to see this team improve upon as the spring game looms in just a couple of weeks?
I think the biggest area as a team that I've enjoyed is these guys are getting after each other. They're trying to make the little brothers grow up. So there's been some spirited practices and some spirited scrimmages. I think that is the positive part. The negative is we got to get more growth. We got to get some of the injured guys, if possible, out here. Of course, that's all medical stuff. We don't have anything. We're not involved in that part. But we need our full family so for us to grow. We need to get as many of those guys on the edges back inside the football field so we can get better.
You mentioned the scrimmage. Just any highlights or lowlights from Saturday's first scrimmage?
Well, you guys were there.
No, we weren't.
Hey, I thought the biggest thing is that it was really, really spirited. There was some points scored, but there was good tackles. There were good plays made on both sides. The effort is always something that they think they're going full speed, and then you show them on tape. That's really not full speed. You've gone faster than that. And they'll get there. That's just always the first scrimmage is a little give and take type situation.
Coach, one guy we've seen stand out this spring, Jeremiah Wilson. I've seen a couple picks these last few practices. What have you seen from him so far?
Well, Jeremiah is one of those spirited players. I can think of there's two guys that you would wish everybody would practice like, one on offense and one on defense. Jeremiah practices the way practice should be on defense, and a lot of other guys need to get his energy.
What else have you seen for the defense as a whole under Rocky Long so far?
The effort. It's not good enough yet, but it will be.
What are you seeing from your running back room so far?
Well, I think LaQuint's been doing a nice job. I think those guys are all working extremely hard. They're trying to work a little bit more on our pass pro and things like that, especially with the younger backs. There's so many young backs there right now, and those guys normally don't have their pass pro technique down, so that's what they've been working on right now.
Is the plan to use those guys a little bit more in the passing game, LaQuint especially? I know we saw a lot of that in the bowl game.
I would think that we use them the same way we've always used them. You know, if a running back is allowed to run the ball and catch the ball, just because he's not a wide receiver. And what I try to remind the wide receivers is that, hey, when you catch the ball, you're allowed to run with it. You know, afterwards, you just don't have to fall down. So we're going to just use him as a running back. I think a lot of those guys can do both, so whatever they do best is what we're going to do.
Dino, what have you seen out of the quarterback so far, especially Carlos and Justin?
Well, the biggest thing is from the scrimmage, I want to say they both graded out the exact same grade, which when it comes to math is an amazing coincidence. They graded out both, decent grade, winning football for both of them through for over 65% in the scrimmage, which is a good, decent number your first scrimmage out. But just good competition in that room. It'll be good to see what happens in the next 3 weeks and the next 3 scrimmages.
What's your tight end room looking like? I know you got a couple new faces in there, including obviously new position coach. Just what are you seeing out of them?
I think they're getting better. There's certain things that we needed to work on. The young guy, there's a young guy that brought some energy to practice today, and I think when the whole group gets together and they get to the end of practice, hopefully we'll have one of the better tight end rooms we've had in a long time.
How has the philosophy of that position, I guess, changed from how maybe Anai was using them last year to how they're being used this year?
It's exactly the same. Coach Anai was, I don't want to speak for him, but he was a guy that believed in the run, believed in putting those tight ends in situations in the passing game where they can win. Jason's doing the exact same thing. So I don't think there's a big change from last year and this year, although we're trying to put more of an emphasis of getting some more physical runs out of them.
I feel like one position group we haven't touched on yet is the offensive line. What have you seen from them? I know a new coach for them. What have you seen from them so far through these first 2 weeks or so?
Learning, because anytime with the offensive line, there's certain techniques that are going to stay the same. There's certain buzzwords that have to change, and they're mirroring the language. They're bridging the language between what the language was last year between the O-line coach. Some stuff that we're not going to change, some things we're allowing to change so that Coach Farmer can move faster and quicker, and these guys can keep the development that they had last year and grow on top of it so they can be even better next year.
On that note with the O-line, Chris Blake was a scratch last Tuesday. Everything okay on his end now?
Yeah, it better be. We need to get him back out there. Again, there's some guys on the side that need to be on the football field. He's one of them. He's going to be one of our better players.
Looked like you and LaQuint had a bit of an exchange and then shook hands at the end of that. Anything you can share on kind of what was going on there?
Grandpa talking to his grandson. Grandson better be nice to Grandpa. The rest of the family gets mad.
Was he nice?
Yeah.
2 more if anybody's got them.
Dino, you added a nutritionist to staff in the past month. I know, just who kind of pushed for that addition? Was it you? Was it Mr. Wildhat? Was it?
Well, I think the main thing is we've got one. Okay, there's been we're one of the later schools that acquire one, and I think we've got a good one. Tori Brown, she's a CBA graduate. She's doing a really nice job for us, and it's something that we've needed. And now she's already off and running with our players, and it's going to be a huge advantage for us.
We've heard a lot of positive reviews from the players, but I'm just curious, have they given you, kind of come to you with comments on her, or how much they appreciate that addition?
You know what the players do when it's really good? They normally don't say much, and it's really bad, they say something. So they haven't said much. They've just been doing what she says, which tells me right now that she has her respect. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.